Welcome to Cosmo Talks. I'm Petra. In this episode, we explore why letting go improves stability and how you can be a good host for your microorganisms. Because together, you form a fascinating ecosystem. And when the interaction is right, when the crosstalk functions optimally, you flourish. Your heart rate is not constant. You know that. But did you know that the more your heart rate varies, the healthier you are? Counterintuitive, isn't it? We associate health with stability, constant values, no fluctuations. But science tells a different story. Healthy systems fluctuate, they oscillate, they constantly vary within a bandwidth. It's the sick systems that become rigidly stable, that stop varying, that get stuck in a pattern. Today, the final episode of this series about why letting go is sometimes exactly what your system needs. In 2021, The Lancet Digital Health published a meta-analysis of HRV, heart rate variability, as a predictor of mortality. The conclusion was unambiguous. Lower heart rate variability predicts higher mortality, independent of other risk factors. This principle applies more broadly. Healthy blood sugar fluctuates throughout the day. Healthy hormone levels oscillate. Healthy sleep moves through cycles. When systems lose their variability, when they become rigidly stable, that's often a harbinger of disease. Your microbiome follows the same pattern. A 2023 study in Nature Microbiology analyzed microbiome stability in healthy versus sick individuals. Healthy microbiomes showed what they called dynamic stability, continuous fluctuation within a functional range. Sick microbiomes showed either chaotic instability, too much variation without pattern, or rigid stability, too little variation, stuck. The healthy middle ground is dynamic stability, varying but within limits, fluctuating but with return to a functional range. This has practical implications. When you try to correct every small variation in your health, smooth every blood sugar peak, compensate every energy dip, normalize every deviation, you may be disrupting the natural oscillation pattern. Your system needs that variation. It's not a fault to correct, it's functionality. At Cosmo Group, we learned this by looking at overcorrection. People who obsessively tried to normalize every deviation often had worse outcomes than people who tolerated more variation. A manager with type 2 diabetes illustrates this. He continuously monitored his blood sugar and immediately corrected every small rise with insulin or exercise. On paper, he had perfect average values. In reality, his system was exhausted from the constant interventions. His variability had decreased. His HRV was low. His doctor had taught him that stability was the goal. We taught him that dynamic stability was the goal, variation within a functional range, not the elimination of all variation. We helped him raise his intervention threshold. Not every small peak required action. Some fluctuations were normal and functional. Letting go cost him effort, but within 3 months his HRV had risen. His energy level was more stable. Paradoxically, he became more stable by trying less to stabilize. He summarized it. I was treating every signal as an alarm. Now I understand that some signals are just my body breathing. The aha moment of this entire series: resilience is not rigidity, it's not control, it's not the elimination of variation. Resilience is the ability to bend without breaking, to vary without derailing, to oscillate within a functional range. Toughness breaks systems, Redundancy builds safety. Over-control makes fragile. Anticipation prepares. And letting go, accepting that variation is normal, paradoxically improves stability. This is the core of what we call resilience. Not becoming harder, responding smarter, not fighting every wave, but learning to move with them. You are a dynamic system. Behave like a dynamic system. The biohack. Raise your intervention threshold. Identify this week one domain where you quickly correct. You respond to every energy dip with coffee. You eat at every hunger pang. You take a supplement at every tension. Raise your threshold. Wait longer before you intervene. Give your system the chance to regulate itself back. Not every dip requires coffee. Not every hunger requires immediate eating. Not every fluctuation requires correction. Sometimes the best intervention is no intervention. Sometimes your system just needs time to find its own way back. This was the final episode of our series about resilience. Let's summarize. Toughness breaks systems. Flexibility survives. Redundancy is not waste, but insurance. Over-control undermines what it tries to protect. Your body anticipates if you give it patterns, and letting go paradoxically improves your stability. Next week, we start a new series. Self-regeneration. Recovery is an active process. You don't want to miss this. Want to be part of a community of like-minded people who believe together in flourishing through proactive health and optimal crosstalk? Visit cosmogroup.eu. Until then.